Coaches, January 12th, Monday morning after our Super Saturday, and of course some Super Sundays as well. I know in Dallas they had something like 1,400 coaches in Dallas. Wow. And it was just fun to watch the feeds all week long of pictures of 500, 600, 400 people gathered all over the country. I had the pleasure to go to Grand Rapids, Michigan, where it was balmy warm. It was so great. But you know what? It was phenomenal to be with coaches that are excited about this business. And every time I get out there, you just realize what tremendous people we have. But coaches, this is the day when really the year begins as far as I'm concerned. I know that we've already got 12 days under our belt or 11 days under our belt, but today's when it starts. The surge is over. Super Saturday's over. Everything has been laid out there for this first quarter that says, okay, here is where we're going. The ball has now been handed to you, and it's time to run. And it's time to run hard to get traction and to do those things. And there's a lot of things out there that you can leverage. So I hope that today you are ready to run if you haven't already started, because the results come from what you do and only what you do. This is one of those individual things where you've got to bring your own leadership to it. But we're excited about today, the call today. We've got three things you need to know at least. It may be a little bit of a reiteration of what happened on Super Saturday. But, of course, we announced our 2016 Success Club Cruise, the cruise of a lifetime, and general registration opens up today at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So depending on where you are, that's probably going to be just in about an hour from right now. But it's just at the ssbeachbody.com. Let me just say this. This is the largest ship that sails the seas. It's one of the most beautiful ships that sails the seas. Beachbody all the time. And we know that there's an upfront investment on this, but I want you to shine your headlights out a little bit and look down the road and say, where will I be a year from now or a little bit over a year from now? Will I be with this great team of Beachbody coaches, having my trip paid for, partially paid for, and really one of those bucket list things? It'll be worth it. But these cabins will go fast. So get your name on the cabin, because these things are just, I don't know how to say it other than they're just great. Be there, make the effort, get the buy-in, go on this. Okay, second thing, as you know, we announced Beachbody on Demand on our Super Saturday. We're going digital. This is a big, big deal. But anyone who achieves Success Club in the month of January, will receive an exclusive invitation to test the Beachbody on Demand. It doesn't formally launch until in March, but you will get, together with our elite coaches who are going to get a sneak peek starting this week, next month you will get an exclusive opportunity to test this experience, see that before anyone else in the entire network. So is it worth it to achieve Success Club this month? You know that it is. All right. The next thing that you need to know is our January Challenge Pack promotions, and if you achieve Success Club, you can double your cruise dollars. So you double your cruise dollars when you earn Success Club points this month. So that's an outstanding opportunity to jumpstart your way to the cruise, because you can get a lot of it paid for right this month. And with our Insanity Max 30 and Shakeology Challenge Pack promotion at 180, the Max 30 Kickstart and the Kickstart program, of course, that means with our 3-day refresh, $220. The 21-day fix challenge, Shakeology Challenge Pack, $140. 21-day fix on Espanol, Shakeology Challenge Pack promotions, and the 3-day refresh Challenge Pack, Shakeology Challenge Pack promotion at $140. You have 5 challenge packs this month that you can use to drive your business, to earn your Success Club points that will, one, earn you the exclusive right for Beachbody on Demand, and secondly, to double your cruise dollars for the cruise. So, coaches, this is the month, if ever you were going to earn Success Club, this is the month to make it count. Now, just one other quick announcement before I turn the time over to Darren Ashby is we were pinged on the wall where all the 5-stars live that, hey, on the Super Saturday video, you didn't announce where the destination for the Elite 10 trip is for 2016. Those that achieve or the Elite 10 winners in 2015 go in 2016. You're absolutely right. We know we're going to France. We've got one or two little tiny details that have to be worked out. So stay tuned, because in the next week and a half or so, you will know where we're going. I know where we're going. Michael knows where we're going. Carl knows where we're going. And you know what? It's going to be absolutely remarkable. So stay tuned on that one. Okay, got to move this thing along. Darren, I think there were a few people last week that deserve some recognition. Why don't you do it some justice?
You got it. Good morning, coaches. Well, what a weekend it was. Hope you were all able to make it to a Super Saturday in your area. And you are as excited as we are for the new year. Cool stuff is happening, and here's some more cool stuff for you. Our new cool rank advancements for the week. Here they are, starting with our newest Diamond coaches. Congratulations to Crystal Alampi, Barbara Baez, Chelsea Best, Heather Brooker, Brandy Burridge, Mallory Burrows, Christina Clark, Zoe Klein, Laura Costello, Glenn Crocker. From Canada, Bonita Crozier, Diane Del Silva Hughes, Antoinette Dorenzo, Tinsley English, Monica Gagny, Lauren Gashel, Shannon Gata, Jen Hemman, Elisa Jordan, Sarah King, Eileen Korsgaard, Kim Langley, Molly Lightfield, Madeline Longo, Janica Marks, Carolyn McGuire, Unsung Ostrowski. From Canada, Veronica Ouellette, Victoria Pascalino, Christy Peak, Jocelyn Phillips, Angela Pila Suarez. From Canada, Christina Righty, Tina Rodriguez, Alicia Schulten, Stephanie Soniette, Mandy St. Germain, Joni Stepp, Carl Sue Chalky, Jennifer Taylor, Chana Tendancia, Jessica Turner, Becca Van Houwelingen, and Pam Zeifel. There were some tough names there. I hope I got them right. Now on to the new Star Diamonds. Congratulations to Andre Diaz, Sarah Moore, Jeanette Perez, Benjamin Price, Bonnie Scharf, Angeline Stetsko, Jason Washam, Garland Woodard, and Catherine Zornes. New 2-star diamonds for the week, and in a secondary CBC, we have Tony Furtado and Jenny Matheson. New 5-star diamond. Congratulations to Joe Gonzalez. And our newest 8-star diamond coach this week. Congratulations, Stephanie Davies. All right, now on to the daily Beachbody Challenge winners for January 1st through January 11th. And you guys know this. They each won $500. Congratulations to Melissa Tucker, Michaela Garr, Angela Jablonski, Thomas Rush, Caitlin Struthers, Rolando Rodriguez, Melanie Dolacek, Dave Winiger, Lisa Faris, Joe Gambucci, and Michelle Gardner. All right, on to the top Challenge Pack sales for the week. Congratulations goes out to Dana Pilara, Caroline Nathan, Lori Miggins, Mandy Dorsey, and Danielle Lichtig. Top recruiters, Amy Silverman, Anita Myron, Casey Lawrence, Amy Allen, Melanie Mitro, Cameron Cummings, and Dana Fotiades. And our top Success Club point earners for the week, congratulations, Dana Pilara, Jen Wall, Danielle Bennett, Lori Miggins, Heather Foltz, Caroline Nathan, and Lacey Wood. Well, there we have it, another week of great achievements. Congratulations, guys, on your success. A quick shout-out to our new 2014 Elite and Premier coaches. Keep up the great work, and until we do this again next time, don't forget to make it a fantastic week. Back to you, Jeff.
All right. Thank you, Darren. Congratulations to everybody. Well, coaches, before we jump on, we bring on Melanie Mitro, there's another very special individual we want to bring on. As everybody knows, we announced our Beachbody On Demand on our Super Saturday, and understandably, there's always a question or two or three or four that surfaces from that. But to maybe just provide a little clarification as we jump into this, I'm bringing on the man who had the sexy voice last week, but now he just brings on a sparkling personality, Mr. Michael Neiman. Michael, are you there?
Thank you, Jeff. And I think it's sparkling and sexy personality. That's what I'm going for.
I'm just going to call you Mr. Sexy from now on, and you can apply it to everything.
Finally, at least one person will. So Jeff, I know I'm on to talk about Beachbody On Demand, the new addition to the club, and I'll be brief because, like everybody else, I want to hear from Melanie Mitro also. So, but we did, as you said, Jeff, we introduced Beachbody On Demand. We said that it's going to be coming in March of this year, and I know I was in the Portland Super Saturday, and it was greeted with lots of applause and then a little confusion. And I think that, that's always the case when you introduce something new. And I was thinking back, Jeff, we've introduced a few new things over the last several years. The first one was Success Club. And I remember when we launched Success Club for the first time, there was a bunch of people who clapped and said, that's great. And there was a bunch of people who said, I don't know, that's really going to change the way people think about things, and I don't know if that's going to hurt the business. And you know what? It ended up not hurting the business. It ended up actually driving the business to the next level. And then I remember the next thing was when we introduced Challenge Pack and Challenge Groups, and people were like, oh, no, they're changing the way we do things. And that really ushered in a whole new level of growth for us. And I really think that the new club with Beachbody On Demand is just going to do exactly that. It's going to bring in a whole new level of growth. But the reason why I'm not, and I'm not one, Jeff, you know me, I don't like change. I'm kind of a slow and steady type guy. But the reason why I think it's going to bring on a really positive addition for us is that it really is not changing the way we do things. What we've discovered, particularly with our challenge groups, is that the best way that we can get people results is through getting them working out with a fitness program, getting them to drink Shakeology every day, and getting them to get the accountability and motivation that comes with their Beachbody coach. And so we know that is a winning formula, and we are very sensitive to introduce anything that would upset that formula that we know is working. And so I wanted to take a little bit and just talk about the club and talk about this new addition and why and talk about how it's really just a complement to what we are already doing. So should I just keep going, Jeff?
Just keep going, Michael.
All right, great. So first of all, one thing that I think is important that we clarify is that with Beachbody On Demand, what that is that there will be now a catalog of some of our very popular fitness programs that will be available for streaming as part of the club. What that doesn't mean is that every one of Beachbody's programs is now going to be part of the club. For instance, 21-Day Fix. It's not going to be part of the club. The only way they can get that is still through challenge packs or through the DVD program. Insanity Max 30. Many of our top programs are not part of the catalog, so none of that is changing. We're still going to be connecting people to those products through challenge packs, through your challenge groups. But there are some great products in the catalog, and let me quickly go through some of the products that are going to be in there right from the start. So the whole P90X series, P90X, X2, X3, 10-Minute Trainer, Insanity, Les Mills Pump, Les Mills Combat, Chalene Extreme, Asylum, Hip Hop Abs. All of those are the core programs that are part of the club. Anything else that I didn't read off, that's going to be business as usual, and so no change there. The other thing that I do want to talk about that I think that there was some confusion, people thought, hey, now that there's all this value in the club, how are we going to get people to buy a challenge pack? Well, two things I want to say about that. One, what we know is the model for success that I already talked about, that really people get results when they are working out, drinking Shakeology, and working out with the club. So we and have the accountability and motivation that comes with a coach. So we don't want to change that with digital. So what there will be, and this was not said on the video, is that we will have a club challenge pack. What does that mean? That means that we'll have a challenge pack that will let people buy club. Along with that, they will get Shakeology HD. Along with that, they will get the support, accountability from their coach, all combined in a challenge pack just like all of the other challenge packs. So they'll get 90 days of the club, they'll get Shakeology HD, they'll get their coach, all for $140. Just like any other challenge pack, it's going to have the same commissions, challenge pack commissions, just like any other challenge pack. It's going to have the same volume just like any other challenge pack. So nothing changes. We are not changing the challenge pack and challenge group model that has worked so great for us. And then the other exciting thing that I think about the club is that in addition to that, in addition to the catalog, and for those people who, let's say they're buying a 21-day fix challenge pack and they're going to be part of your 21-day fix challenge group, with that, they get access to the club and all of the valuable workouts that come with the club, the meal planning, everything else that comes with the club. Here's what's exciting. After you finish 21-day fix, rather than have them go away, they may be looking in the club, they may be finding another program in the club that's going to keep them as a customer longer, keep them committed to their fitness program longer, keep them on Shakeology longer, keep them in the club longer. All of this adds up to two very positive things. One, we have a customer who is getting continued success and continued results, and that's what we're after, all along. And the second thing is, the longer they stay on the club, the longer they stay on Shakeology, that just creates more commission opportunities for the coaches. And so we really think it's going to be a win-win.
Michael,
Jeff, what were some of the other questions that you heard out there?
Well, I think that hits the biggest one. I think for coaches that are listening to that obviously the challenge pack piece is core to our business, and that seemed like that was at the highest decibel level out there. I think it's important for coaches to know this is that over the next month and a half, 2 months, we are testing this. We're getting everything ironed out with our elite coaches, with those that are in Success Club. We're going to learn, lots more on this. But we also know that this is where we need to be as a company. I thought your analogies of Success Club, of challenge packs, was just an absolute perfect tee up, of where we're going. So there will be lots of questions as we move forward with this. That's okay. And there may be a little bit of course correction as we move forward with this. That's okay, because this is new ground that we're plowing. But we know where we're going. We know what we have to do. We have a phenomenal team, and I just think that this is going to secure and be such a rewarding part of who we are. So I think you nailed it for the most part, Michael, and we'll continue to update as we get questions.
Yeah, and I really do, as you pointed out, I really think that, starting this week when we send out to our elite coaches the link and they see how the club works, and they'll have a little bit of time to look and say, oh, I get this. I get that this is really going to complement the way that we're already doing our business. And then in February, when all of our January Success Club qualifiers get access to it, then the lights will go off and they'll get it. So I do think it's going to take a little bit of time, and that's why we wanted to have these couple months before the launch to get everybody comfortable with it. And to be honest with you, Jeff, even we're still figuring out some stuff leading into the March month. I mean, we're still kind of looking at how the cost structure works, how all of that works, so that we make sure that, all of the pricing and commissions all work out perfectly. I mean, the one thing we are committed to is that when we launch this thing, we're going to launch it at the regular price that we've always launched it at, $38.87, because we want people to have a great product and at a great value. But over time that may change too. We're figuring it out. We're taking the next couple months to figure everything out so that when we launch in March, everything's going to be great. And along the way to March, we're going to continue to communicate with our coaches all of the details. So once we hit the ground running in March, everybody understands what's going on and everybody's moving in the same direction.
Yeah, the one mistake coaches could make on this is if they let a question mark paralyze them or slow them down. You just need to keep moving, selling challenge packs, selling challenge groups, positioning those, holding those, and all the answers will come out, and you'll be well rewarded for that. So we know what the main drivers to the business are. Believe us, our CAB, our top coaches continue to let us know, pay attention to this, pay attention to that, and we are listening, and we will align it just absolutely the best we can. So, Michael, we need to move on, but you know what? You were sparkling and sexy. And so, it was very nice. Well, listen, we've got someone else who's sparkling on that we need to get on the phone. So I thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Well, listen, we do need to move on to our elite our top coach of the year. And maybe just very quickly as we get to her, I want to also just do a quick countdown of who our Elite 10 top coaches were. Came in the 10th position, Alyssa Shoemaker. In 9th position, Micah Folsom. 8th position, Brittany Leggett. Carly Del Carlo. And we had some ties on these, so I'm just going to just count these down. Carly Del Carlo, Anita Myron, who I had the great chance to be with in Grand Rapids. Fun, remarkable woman. Melissa McAllister, she's a 3-time Elite 10 coach. Amy Silverman, 2-time Elite 10 coach. Lori Stewart, first time. Then in second place, Lindsay Matway, who is this past year's top 10 coach and a 4-time Elite 10 coach. And then, of course, we get to our top coach of the year, who has been with us since July of 2011. She's the newest member of our coach advisory board. She's a superstar diamond coach. She was an Elite 10 coach last year. She rank advanced 30 diamonds in 2014. She has 39 consecutive months in Success as a Success Club. She's in Success Club. She's a Success Club 10 All-Star legend. She is our 2014 Elite 10 and Top Coach of the Year, Melanie Mitro. So, Melanie, we've made you wait a long time, but get on the phone, will you?
I'm here, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, listen, we're excited to have you here. And first off, let me just say this. Congratulations. What a remarkable year you've had.
Thank you. As you were saying all of those things about me, my eyes started to well up with tears because it feels surreal to me to hear all of that.
Well, it's the amazing. I think the important thing is for new coaches to hear is, we kind of take this and it feels like, hey, it's just a photograph that puts everything together. But every one of those accomplishments was earned a day at a time, a decision at a time, an action at a time. And but the cumulative effect of that gets to be some pretty remarkable things. So congratulations, and to your team who partnered with you as you made this great journey.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, well, listen, let's jump in. I mean, yeah, you're the Elite 10 top coach, so that's pretty cool. But you're also just this everyday mom. Who is the real Melanie Mitro? Will she please stand up?
All right. Let me give you a little information background about myself. You're right. I am an everyday average mom, and I still consider myself that today. So I have 2 little boys, Landon and Bryce. Landon's 5.5, and Bryce will be 4 on Wednesday. And I have a wonderful husband, Matt, who I actually bought him for $6 at a bachelor auction in college. And our first date was on Valentine's Day. So we've been together ever since college. And I live in a small town called Mars. It's just 20 minutes north of the city of Pittsburgh. And my background is actually in special education. So I've got my master's degree in special ed. I have my undergraduate degree in psychology. I worked with kids with autism when I graduated college, and I ran an early intervention program in my area for a couple of years before we had kids. I'm a Christian. I love my family, and in my free time, I really just enjoy spending time with my kids. I really like to shop. And I always joke that when I grow up, I want to be a professional napper. And my big dream in life, was to get married, to have kids, to be a stay-at-home mom. Never in a million years did I imagine that my life was going to take this path. So, even with all of this that has happened to me in the past 4 years, on a day-to-day basis, I still place my family as my number one priority. Laundry, I cook. I'm driving my kids to school, doing homework. We still play with Legos, and, my kids are just an important part, and they will always be my number one priority. I just feel very blessed to have this career as a coach, but it just kind of adds this whole new level of positivity and experience and opportunity for our family.
Well, I think you captured it all last week when I called you up the day after, I guess it was the day that we announced that you were top 10, congratulating you. And I said, so what are you doing to celebrate? And you said, well, I just finished taking kids to preschool, and I've got about 15 loads of laundry to do. So it was very glamorous, very glamorous.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of coaches on here listening, and they're going, wow, top coach. But you started as a new coach, as well. when you had no experience, just kind of looking at this and going, is this thing for real? Can I do it? Do I want to do it? Will it make a difference in my life? As you look back, not so long ago as a new coach, what was your most daunting challenge? What did you have to do? What did you look at that loomed big for you?
I guess I would say, as a new coach, my most daunting challenge was establishing myself, because I had less than 100 friends on Facebook, and I really had no idea how to use social media to market myself. I had no idea what network marketing was. I did not understand the structure of Beachbody. I'm not a health and fitness guru. I honestly, I really never even used Facebook for more than to go through the news feed and just look at my friends' pictures, and I just didn't make posts. So going from that person that was quiet and shy to posting 3 to 5 times a day with selfies and motivational quotes and recipes and all that stuff, it was overwhelming. So, and a lot of what happened at the beginning was what most of new coaches go through is people give you pushback with what you're doing, and they're just it's because people are unsure. So I was starting from ground zero, building this trust and credibility, and that was hard. There were days that I would get 0 likes on my posts, or people would tell me that they were going to block me because I was posting too much, or, everybody that I invited to join my challenge group was giving me price objections. And really at the beginning, it was just one door after the next was shut in my face. And I didn't even hit Success Club my first month as a coach. So at the beginning, like all of us, the cards are stacked against you. You're starting from the beginning, and that was my biggest challenge, was overcoming that and having the courage to day after day say to myself, I have a bigger purpose. I'm very passionate about what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep going no matter what.
Was there something, as you started this and there was self-doubt and, like you say, objections, everybody gets uncomfortable when someone tries something new, and then they test you on that. And you said, I got past it kind of a day at a time. Did you break up your goal or your vision, your commitment into like daily, weekly, monthly, or was it just a moment at a time type of a thing? What would you tell new coaches how to compartmentalize that, if you will?
So if I think about the first 3 months, and I say this a lot of times on my new coach apprenticeship calls that I do with my coaches, is that the first 3 months are pretty overwhelming as a new coach, and there's just a lot of information. And so the one thing that I did was I kept a sheet of paper with just a daily, like a to-do list, and it was basically like a mind dump. Everything that was running through my mind, I wrote on that sheet of paper. And then what I did was I looked at that list and I said, okay, what is going to bring me the most success right now? So, like, for example, my goal was to hit Success Club. So in order to hit Success Club 5, I knew that I needed to invite every day. I knew that I needed to make those posts because that was developing my credibility. I knew that I needed to be a product of the product. I knew that I needed to follow up. And so what happened was it started to shift. So the things like making a timeline banner and making it look pretty, or creating a blog that had all these different functions, that went to the bottom of the list because it wasn't as important. That was the nice to have, but it wasn't the essentials to help me reach success at first. So I kind of started there with prioritizing, what was most important. And then once I got more comfortable with the inviting and the posting and the following up, and it became sort of like a routine for me, then I started to say, okay, I want to rank advance. I want to, start to earn more of an income, or I want to hit Success Club 10 instead of Success Club 5. And so my priorities or my daily to-dos kind of changed as I got more comfortable and as I achieved those goals along the way.
So let me. That's some great insight there. Let me drill down just one more level on that for a newer coach, because you kind of talked about some of the more leveraged activities, but I know that with the business that you've grown, you've also seen new coaches engage in activities that don't produce results for them or get the desired results that they really want, and oftentimes just because they don't know. So if you were to say most leveraged activity, and don't do these because they're time wasters right now in your business or non-productive, how would you answer that?
Okay, so early on, I was the time waster. I was that person that I would get up or I would hit the snooze button, 4 or 5 times before I got out of bed in the morning. And so what that was doing is it was pushing my workout time back. It was making it so that I, didn't have time to get on the computer and follow up because my kids were waking up. So first thing for me was getting up when that alarm went off, at 5 a.m. and making that a priority to stick to my schedule and my time. The next thing that I realized was, okay, once I got my workout done and I sat down at the computer, was I would just scroll through Facebook because I was thinking I needed ideas or I needed to just look at everything. And I would waste a half hour scrolling through the news feed. And what I did was I started saying, don't open your computer until you know exactly what your purpose is. So I would go in and say, checking in with my challenge group, following up with people, doing my invites, adding to my contact list. I did things like turning off the notifications on Facebook or, the dings so that I wasn't getting distracted or feeling like I needed to respond right away to every single notification. Also, when I was answering emails and my notifications were on, I was going back and forth, so I never had that clear path of thought. So those are kind of time wasting, those notifications, scrolling through the news feed, kind of getting that everything had to be perfect at the beginning. That was something else that I would spend a lot of time trying to make something look visually appealing, and then I would never get to the part where I was inviting or following up. So very early on, I was grateful that I learned those things and realized that and was able to kind of change my thought process to say, these are the most important things. What was the second part that you wanted me to answer?
Well, it really was the time wasters, and then it was the activities to engage in. Right now, with new coach, first 90 days, here's where the greatest return is going to come from doing this.
Yeah, I think the greatest return on your investment as a new coach, so number one, being a product of the product, because that just ups your level of credibility. So even if nothing else, as a new coach and you're saying, I'm not at my goal weight, I'm not quite comfortable yet with going out there and inviting the challenge, it's like you're just getting your feet wet. Start with yourself and, getting yourself in a routine of your workouts and talking about your Shakeology and your nutrition plan, because that is vital to you kind of setting the stage for you being somebody that other people want to ask for help. And then part of this business, a huge part, is your personal development. So make sure that you have that 10 minutes or that drive time in the car where you're listening to a podcast or you're downloading audio or you're reading before you go to bed at night, because it builds your confidence. It makes you realize that you can absolutely accomplish your wildest dreams, and that personal development really builds that part of you. Another thing that I did early on within the first 90 days was attending events like Super Saturday. I had no idea what a Super Saturday was the first time I walked in there. My coach invited me to go. I did not know what I was going to, but listening to the success stories and the video and hearing people speak kind of ignited this fire and this possibility of what I could achieve. So that helped to kind of push me along. And then the national wake-up calls and our team calls that we had at that time were huge, because to listen to the struggles of other top coaches and for them to give me things that I could go back and apply right away helped me to cut that learning curve and helped me to be more successful. So, and then I think that lastly, the first 90 days, I made it a priority. After that first month of missing Success Club, I was like, never again. That is not going to happen. And I think that's a huge thing, is to make that non-negotiable. And I teach that to everybody. It's just not even a question in my mind. If it's down to the last day, which I've been to many times in my life, and even if I only had two points on the last day of the month, I was not stopping until I had 5. And that's just always something I have always ingrained in myself and in new coaches. And I really feel like that helps you build momentum in your business. And it just propels you forward in a big way.
Yeah, I probably beat that drum every single national wake-up call. But as I look at the most successful coaches, that's a constant. That's, like you say, a non-negotiable for those that have been successful, because that's where the business is built. At the end of the day. Yeah, this may go hand in hand with what you just said, but to earn meaningful rewards, it takes meaningful effort. One doesn't go without the other. Nothing's going to fall into your lap. As you started this business, and you're, I think, a great example of this because I know that you're highly organized. What kind of effort, what kind of time did you invest in the business to lay the foundation for where you are today, or even for that first year's results?
So I invested a lot of time into my business, and I do think that sometimes we as coaches, we paint a picture that it's really easy to be successful and that it's all fun and games. And of course, I mean, it's definitely fun and I've enjoyed every single minute of it, but there is a lot of hard work and very specific, purposeful activities that helped me to get there. So, a couple of the things that I did when I was investing time is I did not have a babysitter at the beginning. So my business was really, I worked around my kids' nap schedule, around when my husband was home. And so for me, my investment at the beginning looked very different, to today. So I would get up at 5 a.m. and I'd work until 7, so there's a couple hours there. I would work at nap time from 2 to 4. I would work in the evenings from, 9 to 11 once they went to bed. And I did that pretty consistently, 6 to 7 days a week for the first, year and a half until we were to the point, and Matt and I are very frugal, so we probably waited as long as possible to get help and to hire a babysitter. And so we got to a point where I was like, okay, let's have somebody come in and help us. So then it came a point where I had a structured work day where it's 2.5 days, Mondays and Wednesdays, and a half a day on Thursday that I work, a full work day. And so I definitely, throughout the week, have a good 40-hour work week. So realistically, I work a full-time job, but it is flexible with my family, with our priorities. I'm very present in their lives. I can pick and choose when I don't want to work. And a lot of times I will get up early and do my power hour so that I can spend the rest of the day with my family. So it just works for our family, but I invested a lot of time at the beginning to get where I am today.
Yeah, and I think that as you indicated, sometimes there's a bit of a myth on this. They think, it is going to be easy, but is the most every Elite 10 coach, every really successful coaches that have started, there has been a significant investment in learning the trade and investing in this. And we've never said it'd be easy, but we've always said but we think the rewards can be greater than any other kind of business from the effort that's put in,
right.
on this. So I think it's great to paint that very realistic picture of what this is. We've got about 5 minutes, and we probably need to wrap, Melanie. But, so as a new coach, or as you've run into so many coaches, I think a lot of them, kind of ask this question of, should I do this? Can I do this? Will it be worth it? How would you address that?
So I get this question a lot, and actually said this on Saturday at our training that we did, is I say to my coaches, and I said this to myself, is it worth the sacrifice to you? If you don't do it, if you don't pursue this business, you're going to be in the same spot you are right now. You're going to wonder what if. You're going to wonder if you could actually be successful at it. And I always say, is it worth the short-term sacrifice so that in a few years from now, you can have the freedom to do the things that you once maybe only dreamed of? And it truly is all about the sacrifice and how big your goals are. I mean, do they drive you enough to keep you going when it gets hard, when you don't want to, when it would just be easier to give up? Do you feel like the bigger picture is worth it for you? And I think about every single successful person in this world. They have failed so many times that it's almost hard to imagine that they eventually ever did become successful. And that's what it takes. I mean, it takes that commitment, that dedication. When times are tough and you're tired and you don't want to go anymore, you just think about those goals and that they really are worth it, and that the short-term instant gratification is not worth that long-term success. And at the end, and standing here at the end of this 3.5-year journey, every single choice I made, every single decision I made to get up, to turn off the TV, to stay up an extra hour, to invite one more person, it's worth it. I mean, in this life, if you want this, you have to go after it with such a purpose, with a clear strategy and determination that no matter what, you will find a way. And it's worth it, absolutely. You should go for it. No doubt in my mind. Never at the end of the day say I couldn't have done a fingernail more.
Yeah. Two questions, and we're going to wrap here. The next question is, so I'll just give them both to you. The one is, so people are going to get off this call. They've heard the surge. They've been to Super Saturday, and now the rest of this month, next month, looms out there. What are you doing to prepare your team, suggesting they be focusing on doing? And then the second question, then you can lead into this, is you kind of, you've been with Beachbody 3 years. What's it meant to you?
Okay. So going forward, starting today, I am preparing my team and myself for the Beachbody Cup. That's going to happen in February. So getting my team organized, starting to think about that. Success Club, non-negotiable. Everybody on my team, I'm helping them to prepare with the strategies and ways to get out there and use the promotions we have available. So to not just reach Success Club, but couldn't you do more? Couldn't you hit Success Club 10 or 15 this month? I mean, you've got double cruise dollars. You could get the sneak peek of the Success on Demand. I mean, there are so many things this month that if you push hard are going to propel you for the next 11 months out of the year. So that, getting everybody on my team to register for the Success Club trip for the cruise, because those events are key to, building relationships and boosting your business and surrounding yourself with other people who are just motivated and driven to take their business to the next level. And starting now versus later. Don't wait until February. Don't wait until life settles down. In the midst of all the chaos and turmoil of life, just go for it. Make a to-do list, set your business hours, and just tell yourself there is no other option. I will be successful at this no matter what life throws at me. And then for myself, what does it mean to me? I don't even know that I can put that into words. I mean, my life, every day I wake up and I want to pinch myself because I just don't feel like this is real. And I am so thankful for this opportunity to bless my family, the people around me, to realize that it's not just about a weight loss journey. That's where it started for me. But I've had this ripple effect of every single person that I've touched, and the messages and the positive feedback that I get, it makes it all worth it in the end. And I know that Beachbody is this amazing platform for me to go out there and make an impact, to really help people change their lives and to see my team be successful with their fitness and their finances, but also to know that my family is set and that our future, Beachbody has been able to provide us with a future for our kids that we never would have even dreamed of. And so we're forever grateful for this opportunity and for this company. So thank you so very much.
Well, Melanie, thank you. You have owned this spot the entire year. You have worked, and the amazing part is that you have never taken your foot off the gas. But what I've loved about the way you've done this is you've done it with class, you've done it with discipline, you've not compromised who you are, what you represent, and just it's such a deserving top coach achievement. So congratulations, and thank you so much. Thank you to your family and to your team, and thank you so much for being willing to jump on and share just a little sneak peek into how you got to where you are today.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much, Melanie. Well, coaches, some great information. And for you new coaches, go back and listen to this because, like we always say, success leaves clues. And there's certainly lots of clues there that you can learn off. But let me end this call simply with this again, is that this is where the work starts. Super Saturday last week was not the work. That prepared us for the work. Go back and listen. Seriously, go back and listen to to the Super Saturday training again. Elizabeth Hartke did such a great job of reverse engineering, showing you how to break down your business. Brandy Boss gave some tremendous information on how to position, some nuancing around positioning challenge packs. And Katie Ersta's story, just of, man, can you do this regardless of the challenge, no matter what? You want that little dose, take the last 15 minutes of that video, fast forward to it, and watch that again, and then get to work today. Our work is reaching out to people. It's touching people's lives. It's been building challenge groups. We have phenomenal challenge packs that anyone can line up with this. Today is the day. This is where your life can change, but it takes action. It takes action on your part to really engage other people. You need to show up today and show that with our theme, consistent with our theme for this year, that everyone matters. This is a business that's built one person at a time, touching people's lives, helping them do things that they never thought they could do because they've got someone that believes in them, that has a solution for them, that has a system for them, and that cares about them. That's what this is about. Coaches, let's get out there and make this a phenomenal week. Let's make this happen. Thank you so much for joining us, and can't wait to talk to you next week.
Hey, Jeff, this was a killer call. We blew out lines, and we posted the spillover line for people who couldn't get on. So we are going to post this live call in the next half hour so more people can listen to it. So share this number, 832-225-5065. Also, the Super Saturday video will be posted in the Coach Online office so you can check out what Jeff has been talking about. Make it a great week, everybody. Je suis Charlie. Bye-bye.